Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hey, I ate that one. Okay, all right, let me stop, y'all. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, I don't think I ever told you guys welcome back to my channel. That don't even sound right. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to check out the rest of the content, and if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. If you are not new to the channel, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all sit back, y'all relax. This is the part 3 Legion series. Also, if you are new to this series, I am going to leave the first 2 parts in the description box down below. Make sure you guys watch that first and then come back and watch this. And yeah, I'm gonna give a couple of disclaimers and then we're gonna hop right into the story time. I know you guys have been messaging me on Instagram like, Irene, where's the third part? Like you guys, okay, let me even, okay. So I'm gonna give you guys, I think I'm gonna give you guys 3 disclaimers, okay? So my very first disclaimer is, if you are not following my Instagram, you need to be following my Instagram because, and I cannot keep re-emphasizing this. Like, I understand that some of y'all just want to see me on here and y'all do not care to follow my Instagram. But I'm telling you, and you guys that follow my Instagram, that watch all my stories, please attest to this in the comment section down below. Bitch, what do young jocks say? Me at the track is going down. Bitch, my shit be going down. Like, really let them know, like, shit be going down on my Instagram sometimes. That's why I be telling you guys to follow my Instagram, because the people who follow my Instagram already know who Legion is, because some shit just happened literally this week with him and I had to expose him on my Instagram. But if you guys are not following, y'all need to follow my Instagram. So my Instagram is in my description box down below. Follow my Instagram so you guys can get tea outside of this YouTube shit. And my second disclaimer, this is a story time about how a guy played me. So I'm not gonna be telling the good things about him. I know you guys might not believe this, but he had a lot of good attributes to him. I'm not gonna be sitting in front of the camera saying, so on Monday he did this, and it's like good things. This nigga played me, so I'm gonna be saying negative things about him. With that being said, it's gonna make it look like this boy did just nothing but bad things, because I'm not gonna talk about the good things he did because he doesn't deserve that portion. But to the people in my comment section talking about he did not like you at all, like not even one bit, babe, I'm grown enough to know if a man likes me, and I'm not gonna sit up here and even entertain those type of conversations. He liked me. He liked me a lot. Like, I know when a guy likes me and I know when a guy doesn't like me. Even if I'm dealing with a guy who is pretending like he likes me, I still could tell that he doesn't like me. This guy liked me. This guy is just a narcissist. Like, narcissists, it don't matter how much they like you, they don't change for nobody unless they want to change for themselves. You know what I mean? So, and then a lot of people were asking, oh, he's a narcissist and stuff like that. You got to keep watching the video, sis. Like, you got to keep watching the video. Then another disclaimer is, I understand, like I said before, that I was dumb in this series, and I keep re-emphasizing it to y'all over and over again that I was very dumb in this series. But I am sick and tired of the comments of, oh my god, there's another part. If it was me, I really wish it was y'all. Like, if I could go back in time and put y'all in that situation, I would really put y'all there. I really wish it was y'all and not me, but it wasn't. It was me, and I made bad decisions. But we're not gonna sit here and act like y'all ain't never been played by a man. We're not gonna sit here and act like y'all don't go back to, y'all don't have one guy that you cannot let go of. We're not gonna do that. We are not gonna do that. And let's just say you're not that girl. Let's just say you're that girl that cuts every guy off at the blink of an eye and you ain't never been that girl. Cool, kudos to you. But the vast majority of us have dealt with a man that we could not leave alone no matter what he did. So people in the comments talking about, it can never be me. It ain't me. It ain't. You want a cookie? Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care. But let's get straight into the video, and I'm gonna just be real with you guys. You guys are gonna be seeing a lot of disclaimers in this series, so if you usually are new to my channel and y'all don't like it, I'm so sorry. But boom, let's get started. The last I forgot, where did I last leave off? I think, okay, yeah, I know where I last left off. So let's continue. So Legion, okay, so this is like, so in this story I'm going to be talking about Legion lying. So throughout the weeks, I would just catch him in little lies. Like, I would just catch him in like lies that didn't make sense. You know what I mean? Or he would tell me something like a month ahead of time, and then like a month later, he would kind of like say the same story but in a different way, and I'll be like, that's not how you said it. And he'll be like, yes it is, what are you talking about? And I would have to tell him like, Legion, you told me this story a month ago and that's not what you said. And he's like, yes I did. Like, this boy would be arguing me down, saying that when he had told me the story a month ago, that is how he said it. And I'm just looking like, no, that's not how you said it, but okay. Like, so at first I started thinking that I started thinking that Legion had amnesia. But over time, I started to peep that Legion was just a liar. Like, Legion just lied a lot and he would deny his lie. So because Legion lied so much and twisted stories around, he started to forget his lies or whatnot. And at first, I'm thinking that this boy has amnesia, because he'll be like, I never said it like that. When did I say it like that? And so I was like, boy, you got amnesia. But over time, I was just like, oh no, this boy's a liar. But I didn't clock that till like later on down the road, right? So after that situation, one day me and him got into it, and I'm about to tell you why. So one day I'm texting him, like, everything is cool. We're not really talking about anything. We're just having boring conversation, like mad boring conversation that day. Nothing was really going on. And I asked him for money. I asked him for money to eat some food. And mind you, like, I don't even have to, okay, like, I'ma just keep it a buck. And I know it's just not Nigerian boys, but our Nigerian men, we don't even have to ask them for money before they give it to us for lunch. Like, they would text throughout the day and be like, babe, have you eaten today? And if you say no, they'll send you money, right? And I know some African American boys do that too. But I'm just saying, most Nigerian boys always give their girls lunch money. Like, even if it's not their girlfriend, even if it's just a girl that they're talking to, they will still give them lunch money. You know what I mean? And I just started peeping that he never really gave me lunch money. Now, he did give me money the other times when I asked, but he never really gave me lunch money, right? When I asked him to send me money for lunch, he basically tells me no. He says no. And I'm just confused. I'm like, what do you mean no? Because he could have sent me anything and I would have been fine with it. He could have sent me $10. He could have sent me $15. I would have been fine with it. It's money for lunch. You know what I mean? I had just came from the gym. I wanted to eat and I had money, but I just didn't want to spend my money. I wanted to spend his money. And I just personally felt like I just didn't see the problem asking him for money for lunch. Like, I don't know. This is a guy that I'm messing around with. I feel like I should be able to ask you for money. It's that simple. And he says no. And so I just start getting confused and I'm like, oh. And I told him, I'm like, oh, why? Like, why? He's like, this boy goes off on a tangent. He goes, you're always asking for money. You ask me for money all the time. Every time you come to my house, I give you money for gas. I give you money all the time. You always asking for money. This is that. Mind you, he's a liar. This boy did not give me money all the time. I'm not going to sit here and say that he didn't give me money, but he did not give me money all the time. He's a liar. This boy's a liar. This boy only gave me money when he felt like it. Other times that I would ask him for money, he would not directly say no, but he'll be like, I don't really have it right now, but when I get paid, I got you. Or he'll say like, I gotta pay my bills. I just got them paying my bills. Like, I can't really do it right now. Like, but he did not give me money every single time I asked. And I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. I did not ask this boy for money a lot. Like, I did not, it's not like I had my hand out like every other day, like, give me money, where the bag at, JT, and whatchamacallit, Carisha, where the bag at. This is what he said. He said, every time you come to my house, I always give you money to fill up your tank. Well, he said a lot of shit, but this is what he said that really started the argument. He says, and every time we go out on dates, I pay for it. Bitch, that's what you're supposed to do, number one. And number fucking two, this nigga never let me swipe my card. I remember one time we went out on a date and I wanted to pay for the date because the boy always was paying for all of our dates. So I was like, shit, let me be generous and, you know, let me show this nigga that, you know, I'm not a I'm not a take type of girl. Like I could give as well. And I honestly felt like you're always paying for our dates. You know, let me do that. Let me like, you know, just pay for this one date. And as soon as I brought out my card and tried to give it to the guy in the at the counter, he legit looked at me and was like, and he pushed my, cause like, okay, pretend my phone is my card, right? So I tried to give the guy my card. He legit looked at my card and pushed my phone, my card down. And he took out his card and he paid. And when we were walking away, he was like, "Hey, don't do that." Like he was like, I don't like the girls I talk to paying for dates. And I was like, oh, I was just trying to be, you know, generous, because I see you always paying for our dates. That, like, you know, it was nothing. Like, I was just trying to be generous. And he was like, it's good, I got it. So for you to now come back door and bring up how you always pay for all of our dates, that, I don't know, to me just felt like when people do stuff for you and then they throw it back in your face. That's what it was given. So when he said that, I just went off on him. Like I just started texting him, and I basically, everything that I told y'all is what I told him. I'd never pay for no more dates again. Don't sit up here and try to make it look like I'm draining money out of you. I'm really not. Like, I barely asked this nigga for money like that. And he trying to make it look like I'm draining money. Then he sat up here and said that he does not see the reason as to why he has to fill up my tank every single time he sees me. He said that there's nothing wrong with him filling up my tank every once in a while. He said, but if let's say I come to his house 3 times a week, I will ask him to fill up my tank twice. But like when I would come to his house, it would be like it will be like Monday, Sunday, and like Wednesday, and I would ask him to fill up the tank and stuff like that twice from that moment. And he was doing it at first, but I could tell after a while he had like a little attitude about it. He said, why do I gotta pay to see you? That sounds like, and then he put ... never mind. No, bitch, tell me what it sound like. Tell me what it sound like. What does it sound like? What does it sound like? Cause bitch, if I think it is what you trying to say, bitch, that's your mama, not me. Bitch, I could never be a prostitute. That's your motherfucking mom, not me. And like that just sent me into a rage. Like I was like, oh, so now you're accusing me of prostitution? Then this nigga also tried to say, let me know if you don't got no money. I said, and what's gonna happen if I don't got no money? He said, we might need to sit and talk about your finances if you don't got money for lunch. He was like, because if you don't got money, if you don't have, he said, I understand that I'm a man and all, but like, you know, I want to date somebody that is financially responsible. I'm like, nigga, shut your fucking mouth. Like when mind you, the fight started off during the day. The fight went all the way into the nighttime. Mind you, like we're texting back and forth and I'm trying to call him to go off on him, but he's at work. He's getting ready for work. So he's like, I can't talk. Like, you know, I can't talk. So mind you, I was going out that night. Like I was going out that night, and I was telling my friend what happened, and my friend was like, oh no, babe, you need to cut him off. And I kid you guys not, and I know you guys are not going to believe it because there's still more parts to this series, but I kid you guys not, I promised on everything I love, I was gonna cut this boy off. Like I was gonna cut him off after this, bro, because I was like, oh hell no. Like, so I basically told him to never talk to me again, and I told him that I'm about to go out, I'm not gonna worry about him. And he was like, good night, babe. And he put like a heart, like a fucking petty ass heart, after arguing with me and everything, want to put good night, babe, and put a heart. So that night I went out to the club. Like I went out to the club or whatnot, and he ruined my fucking night, because in the club I was just irritated. Like I was just mad irritated in the club. I don't know, like I was just mad irritated in the club. Like I was just really thinking about everything that he did or whatnot. So I just told my friend, like, I'm done with this nigga. Like this nigga's mad weird over fucking lunch money. And for you to sit up here and say, let me know if you financially responsible, nigga, you know what it is. You didn't want to give me money for lunch. You could have really just been like, I'm gonna be real with you, Irene, I don't got it right now. And I just would have been like, oh, okay, I would have been understandable. For you to do all this extra shit just because you don't want to give me money for lunch, and for you to try to make it seem like you give me money all the time, I was done. Like I was just done with it, and I was just like, he's done in my book, right? A couple of days go by, me and him are not texting, talking, anything. I'm moving on. Then me and my friends, we end up going out. Me and my group of friends, we end up going out one night, and he texts me, and he texts my name, and he used to love doing this. What he would do is he'll text my name. He'll be like Irene, and he'll do that because he knows that if you text somebody's name, you're more prone to answer and be like, yeah, what, you know. So he will always do that. So he was like Irene, and then but I didn't see the message because I was out with my friends and we were having fun. I wasn't on my phone. So when he had texted me that, an hour had already passed. So I had replied back and I was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, damn, Irene, never mind. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean, damn, Irene, never mind? He's like, can I call you right now? I'm like, yeah, sure. Because I was in the restroom, because I ended up going to the restroom, and that's how I seen that he texted me. Because when I went to the restroom, I started like, you know, playing on my phone again, and I was like, oh shit, he texted me. And it had been a couple of days, and in my head I just had my mind made up, like I'm not talking to him no more. But when he had texted me, I was just like, let me see what he trying to say. So he ends up calling me while I'm in the restroom, and he's like, yeah, he's like, a couple of my friends, because this is what he said. We do not know because Legion lies about everything, so we never know. So he says that he has a couple of Nigerian friends, and he said that they came out to Houston for the weekend and they wanted to know some Nigerian clubs to go to, but I did not answer on time, so they ended up just going to one of the black clubs out here. So I was just like, because it was nighttime when it happened. So I was just like, oh, okay. And so he was like, yeah. And so I was like, oh, that's it? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna call you later then. He's like, wait. In my head, I'm like, ugh. So I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, so do you want to talk about what happened the other day? And in my head, I'm just thinking, I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I got my mind made up. Like, I got my mind made up, you know. But he started talking to me, and he was like, well, for starters, I would like to apologize for my behavior the other day. He basically told me that what he did was completely inappropriate. He says that he does not think that I'm financially struggling. He said he just felt that we were just arguing at that point, and he was just saying anything, and he is sorry for that. And he was basically saying that he would never do that again, all this shit. And he basically told me that the reason why he got defensive is because he is like the only breadwinner of his family. He said that like he is like the most successful out of his whole family, and ever since then his people ask him for money all the time. He said his mother asked him for money all the time, and he's just always giving people money. And he said that over the years, not his mother, but he said over the years he has some people play him for money. And he said that he also has had girls act like they like him and be with him, and they just drain him out of his money, and then after a while leave. In my head, I'm like, bitch, nobody held a gun to your motherfucking head and said, give me the money. Nobody did that. I saw your Cash App transactions, nigga. You willingly sent the money, nigga. When you send money on Cash App, bitch, you gotta look at your camera so they can take your Face ID so the money can go through. So don't talk to me as if they held you hostage and they took all your money, nigga. You was tricking, and you come to find out the bitches that you was tricking on didn't like you. Now you making me pay for that shit, and that's weird as fuck. That's weird as fuck. And that's basically what I told him. Now, of course, not in this type of tone, but I basically, everything that I'm telling you guys is what I told him. I just basically was like, Legion, I do not have nothing to do with those other girls that you talk to, number one. And number two, like, you've been talking to me for a good while now. You should know by now that I am not like, you know, like, I'm not that type of girl. Like, I'm just not, I'm not gonna play you out of your money. Like, I'm just not that type of girl. I just wanted to see what you would say if I would ask you for lunch money. I said, you have never asked me, have you ate? I think the proper thing to ask a girl throughout the day is, have you ate today? The only time Legion asked me, have I ate today, was when I was at his house. No, I said that I am not going to say nothing positive that he did in this series, but I'm gonna give him this. I'm not gonna sit here and act like he just didn't do nothing. The boy cooked for me all the time. The boy cleaned up after my plates. Of course, it's his house. He's supposed to. The boy was very he liked doing acts of service. He was very an acts of service type of guy. I remember one time I made like a whole mess in his living room, and I was getting ready to clean it up, and he's like, hey, don't touch nothing. Like, he's very acts of service, and I never went hungry around him. If he wasn't cooking for me, he was taking me out to eat. There were times where he wasn't even hungry, but I was hungry, so he would still drive me to go get some food. I didn't add this in the story time, but he would even grocery shop And when he would grocery shop, he would buy some of my like favorite snacks and food. So whenever I would come there, I always had like snacks in the pantry that I could eat. So he always made sure I was good. I'm not gonna lie. And me grab the food, come back home and eat it. Like, he was very much so like always making sure that I ate type shit. So I'm not gonna sit here and act as if, you know, he never cared about me eating. He always made sure that I ate when I was around him, and I was around him a lot. So he basically thought that, he basically just was like that him saying no that day that I asked him for lunch money shouldn't have turned into what it turned into. But he took accountability for the fact that it turned into what it turned into because of the way he reacted to me asking him for lunch money. Like, he just started going off, y'all. Just sitting there and you calculating stuff in your head. You telling stories to me, and then you telling me stories a month later. You telling stories incorrectly, acting like you have amnesia. But when you ready to call me out on everything and right my wrongs, you getting everything correct about everything you done did for me since the first day you met me. So bitch, do you have amnesia, or are you just a liar? And in that moment, I just begin to realize he's a liar. Because how do you remember all these things you've done for me, but when it come to other things, you forget everything? Like, you're a liar. So that's just when I begin to peek that he was a liar. And then I asked him, I was like, well, okay, I told him, I was like, I accepted his apology. I told him, I said, but if we ever fight, like, you know, over money again, like, I'm done with you, because I don't know what you would do during that fight. I don't know if you would try to like bring up stuff. And I also told him that, I said, do not bring up things and arguments of things you've done for me. Don't do that. Like I said, you're supposed to pay for the date. You're a guy. Like, and I said, and I've even offered to pay for the date before. Like, don't do that again. And he was like, I promise you, I would never do that again. So let's move on. So this part of the series is when I begin to see that Legion was a whore. And I know, because I've already seen people in the comments talking about he was single, he was dating around, he could do whatever he want. That's not the point. Legion was always lying. That was the problem that I had with him. This boy was a pathological liar. And it's like, the fact that he was single, he should have been telling the truth. And as the series go on, you guys, I don't know, some people been taking Legion's side. I don't know why. I don't know. Some people, I've been seeing some people in the comments saying, he ain't do nothing wrong to me. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He did. Nah, just kidding. Nah, everybody got their own opinion. If y'all don't feel like he did nothing wrong, that don't got nothing to do with me. So then, this was when I begin to notice, wow, like, this boy is a liar, for real, and he's a hoe. So one day we had a date, and he actually planned this date. It was a dinner date, and I don't like the restaurant he took us to, but that's neither here nor there. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, let me not say I don't like the restaurant he took us to, because my food was actually very good. I actually enjoyed my food. I didn't like the ambiance of the restaurant, but my food was actually very good. He ended up taking me to this fancy restaurant where old white people go, and I was just like, how'd you find this? Like, it was just very like, very giving very much old money vibes. And I didn't really like the ambiance, but the food was good. But we ended up going on a weekday because he worked on the weekends around that time. It was not that packed when we went. It was just like a couple of people there in our area. But Legion was just acting so off. Like, I had been on dates with Legion, but Legion was just acting so off on this date. He just was not really like physically he was there, but mentally he wasn't there. And I was just trying to figure out what's going on with him, right? He had time periods where he was just texting on his phone, but then he'll put his phone down and he'll have like little convos with me, like just little tiny convos with me. He'll be like, ABC did da da da, like he'll have like little tiny convos with me, and you know, I'll talk back to him, but then he'll just go back quiet, and like he would not be on his phone or nothing, but he'll just be so quiet. He'll just be eating his food, like just eating his food, not talking to me at all. And you know, I'm just, you know, I'm on my phone a lot because I was taking pictures. Y'all know me, when I get dolled up, I like to take pictures. So I'm like, you know, at the table taking pictures, but then after a while I begin to see that he's not talking at all and he's not on his phone. So I think to myself, okay, let me go ahead and put down my phone. You know, maybe it's etiquette to not take pictures at the dinner table. Like, I've been on many dates with him at this time. I just, you know, I'm used to him. Like, I take pictures around him all the time. He don't never stop talking because I'm taking pictures around him. He talks to me still. But this day, he was just very quiet. And we end up getting ready to go at this point. We end up getting ready to go, and every time that I went on a date with Legion, I always slept over at his house. Except for, like, I think the only time that I did not sleep over at Legion's house was the first date. Other than that, every time I went on a date with Legion, and I think the second date, yeah, the only time that I didn't sleep over at Legion's house was in the beginning. But other than that, every time that I went on a date with Legion, I always ended up at his house after. So I ended up going to his house after, and we're in the house. Even when we were in the house, he was acting weird. Like, he was so quiet. Like, he was just, it just looked like he was disturbed by something. Like, he was literally sitting at the edge of his bed like this. And I'm like, are you good? Because I had to ask him, because I'm like, what is all this about? And I was like, are you good? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. Why? And I'm like, I don't know. I said, you've been very quiet today. He's like, well, you know I'm a quiet guy, which Legion is a quiet guy, but this is different. Like you ladies that have quiet boyfriends or talk to quiet guys know when they are being quiet, like, you know, just because they're naturally quiet, and when they're like giving you the silent treatment. And Legion was giving me the silent treatment to the point where I was thinking, maybe I should have went home. Like, maybe I should have not went to this nigga house. Like, this nigga is really giving me the silent treatment type shit. Like, maybe I should have never went to this boy's house. I'm like, are you sure you good? And he's like, Irene, I'm good. So he ends up like going like that, like telling me to come in to hug him. So I come in and I hug him and stuff like that. And we just start flirting and stuff, and we're talking, just having little conversation while he's still hugging me. Like, he's on the bed, I'm standing up, I'm hugging him, and we're just having little conversation. So after me being in the house, I'm about to go to bed. Mind you, Legion, he likes to plug his iPad up to his speaker. So his music was playing and everything, and we're about to go to bed. It's like 2 in the morning at this time, and the music ends up stop playing and the phone starts ringing. So I start walking towards the iPad, because I'm like, who the fuck is calling you at 2 a.m? So I walk towards the iPad, and when I get ready to look, because mind you, the iPad is on the floor, but the iPad is on the floor facing, like, how can I describe it? Okay, y'all know how y'all see my phone? And y'all see my beautiful wallpaper? Yeah. What it was? Yeah, that be. Now let me stop playing. But y'all know how y'all see my wallpaper? The iPad is basically faced like this on the, like, this is the wall and this is the iPad, and then this is me walking up to the iPad. The iPad was upside down basically, so I could not see who was calling him, but it was not an unsaved number. It had a name, but I could not see the name for the life of me, because right when I stood over it to go see it, he rejected the call on his phone. So the thing went away and the music went back. So I looked at him and I'm like, who's that? And mind you, guys, you keep this in mind, I'm drunk. Like, I got drunk at the restaurant, so I am not sober, I am drunk. So I said, who's that? So he's like, I don't know, some 832 number. Y'all, did I not just tell y'all that? Did I not just tell y'all that the number was saved? So how can it be some 832 number? How, Sway? Let me know how it can be some 832 number if the number's actually saved. I kind of looked at him, y'all. Like, I looked at him and I was just like, 832 number. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, but Legion. And he's like, come on, can you go to bed? Like, this boy starts telling me, can I go to bed? He's like, come on, can you go to bed? Like, can you go to bed? You standing over the thing, can you go to bed? Are you gonna call them back? And I just was like, I guess. So I end up going to bed. Y'all, a sharp pain just came in my chest. So the morning comes, and he lets me out, and you know, the thought is still in my head. You know, the thought of the person calling is still in my head, and it's not the fact that the person calling him upset me, because he's still single at this point. You know, I'm still talking to guys, he's still talking to girls. I just don't know why you lied. Like, why'd you lie? You know what I mean? And mind you guys, before this situation happened, remember I told y'all, Legion was lying up a storm. So to me, it just was like, damn, here he go lying again. You know what I mean? Like, it was a continuation. I went home, we were texting back and forth, and I was like, hey, and I sent him an audio, I remember. I sent him an audio and I'm like, hey, I don't want to start no drama because I know you're single. I said, but I don't like the way you lied to me. I asked you who is that number and you told me that it's an 832 number, but the number was saved. So how can it be an 832 number? Like, he was basically trying to say it was a scam, like a scam caller. Scam callers don't work past 5 p.m. Okay? So cut the crap type shit. So he finally just came clean. He wrote a long, when I say long, a long ass paragraph. What we're gonna name this girl? We're gonna name her Bat. We're gonna call her Bat because according to him, she was batshit crazy. So he said, okay, I'm gonna tell the truth. He said, I did not want to ruin the mood of last night, so that's the reason why I did not tell you the truth. In my head, I'm thinking, the mood was already ruined last night. You was already acting weird as hell. So you might as well should have just told the truth last night because you was acting weird off rip. So he's like, there's this girl named Bat that I dated right before I started dating you. Me and her, we fell out. But then he said right before I started dating you, me and her became cool again. As I started really dating you, I tried to cut her off because me and her got into it about something. She just won't leave me alone. She's crazy. This and that. And I'm old enough to know that when a man is calling a woman crazy, he's lying. And if she is crazy, he's making her crazy, okay? He's interacting with her stupidity, right? So I told him that, and I'm like, if she's crazy, it's because of you. And he's like, no. He was like, he said, I'm gonna be real. I do entertain her. I promise you this girl is crazy. He starts snitching on her, basically talking about like her mental problem, which I don't even remember. He like actually gave me like mental problems that she was diagnosed with, according to him, because we know Legion is a liar. So we got to take everything that Legion says with a grain of salt. So he's like, she told me she had such and such and such and such and such and such. She really does act like that and this and that. Like, so she is crazy and that's why me and her stopped talking. He told me, he was like, she did cut me off. He said, but I was planning on cutting her off before. Like, he's just going into a whole tangent about how crazy she is. And then he ends up sending me his call log from the night that I went out with him. This girl called him over 15 times, y'all. This girl called him over 15 times. 15 times she called him. I'm just looking like, so that's the reason why you was acting weird last night. And I didn't tell him that, but I put that in the back of my head and I'm just like, it makes sense as to why you was acting weird last night. Because I was looking at the timestamps that she was calling him and it correlated with when we were on our date. And I said it makes sense as to why you were acting weird as hell last night. Because the girl was probably knew that you were doing some sneaky shit. You guys, you and her probably text all day. You probably disappeared or something. And so she decided to call you. You rejected her call because of course you cannot get on the phone with her while you're with me. And she blew up your phone. That's what it's looking like. It's looking like that's what happened. But he's trying to make it seem like she's blowing up her phone because she's crazy. And like, he's like, I can call you right now and show. So he ends up calling me. He's like, I can literally show our text thread, show how our text thread. I told her about you. Huh? So I'm like, why are you telling her about me? Like, I just was so confused. Like, why are you telling her about me? Come to find out that this boy basically told this girl that he's on a date with me. Like, he went and told this girl to rub it in her face that he's on a date with me. I don't know what them two had going on, but now that I look back at it, I think that him and her got into it. And to be petty, he went and told this girl that he was on a date with me. But not on some, I'm on a date with a new girl, please leave me alone. No, it was on some to be petty and to make her angry. Because when I looked at the call log, the call started off when we were at our date. And it ended the last time that she called when I went over to the phone. So I think that him and her got into an argument. And to be petty, he went and said, oh, that's why I'm on a date with somebody else, da da da. And to me, in that moment, and mind you guys, in that moment, I did not think about it like that. I'm thinking about it now. But in that moment, I was just thinking, why would you tell her that me and you are on a date? And I kept asking him that, like, why did you tell her that me and you are on a date? He's like, so I could leave her alone. It was just so weird. It's like he was trying to, like, make her jealous or, like, just do weird shit. And I just told him, I'm like, you're single. You can talk to whoever you want to talk to. Me and you have not you know, set up no boundaries around our relationship yet. Me and you have not said that we're doing anything exclusively yet, but you don't need to lie. I was like, you're lying. Like, you're lying. And I said, and also, you don't need to be telling other girls that you're on a date with me. Like, that's weird. Like, what was the purpose of that? And he was like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, okay, so if she's crazy, like how you said she's crazy, why can't you block her number? He's like, I've already blocked her before in the past. She just calls me and texts me on text now. She calls me on unknown. She called me on unknown so many times. So it's no point of me even, blocking her, because she gets even crazier when I block her than when I just have her regular number unblocked. I'm just looking like, no. I just told her, I told him, well, if she's acting crazy, it's because you're entertaining her. And he says, I'm not going to sit here and lie. There are some times where I do entertain her. He was like, but then, like I said before, she's crazy. So me and her end up getting into it. And when I try to cut her off, she starts blowing up my phone and stuff. In my head, I'm like, you not that nigga like that to be acting as if this girl is blowing up your phone and like you cool on her. Like, if this girl is blowing up your phone, it's because you fucking with her. Like, stop trying to talk, like, stop trying to stunt on this girl type shit, right? So I end up going to his Instagram and I end up going to see if he's following any girl of that name. Like, I end up putting her name in his Instagram and I see that he's not following nobody of the name back. And so I'm just like, okay, but he ends up apologizing and he's like, I'm sorry, I should have told the truth and this and that and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. I never got her out of my head. Like, I never got her out of my head. I just always was like, I don't know. So one day I'm at the gym, right? And Legion used to ruin so many of my workouts. Like, Legion used to always ruin my workouts because I will always catch shit on him while I was at the gym, and it was so annoying because my workouts would be so ruined. Like, I'll be so irritated to the point where I couldn't even put my all into my workouts anymore. But I'm at the gym and I'm doing hip thrusts, and if you guys know anything about hip thrusts, you really got to have your mind fully in it to get it done. And something just told me, go check that boy's Instagram. Like, legit, something just told, mind you, me and him, we texting back and forth in that moment. Go and check his Instagram. I go on his Instagram and I'm just looking at it, and something told me go to his following list and type in back. Went to his following list. Mind you, this is like give or take 3 weeks after the situation. About 3 weeks after the situation with Bat calling him that night. I type in back, and you guys know where this situation is going. Why was he following back? He was following Bat. This can't be the bitch that you call crazy. This can't be the bitch that you call crazy. So at this point, I start going off on him. I text him and I'm like, you're weird as fuck. I said, you said this girl is crazy, but you here following her. I said, you were not following her before, so why the fuck are you following her now? So this boy basically says that I'm being creepy. That's what he said. That's his favorite word. He loves to call it all the girls that he talked to, he liked to call them creepy. You're a creep. No, bitch, you're a creep. Not me, bitch. You're a fucking creep. Not me, ho. You're being creepy as fuck. He said, do you just sit on my Instagram and go through my followers all day long? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I actually do. Now what? Whoop me type shit. What are you gonna do about it? So he's like, do you just sit on my Instagram and go through my followers all day long? You're weird as fuck. Weird as fuck. Like, he's basically calling me weird. And I'm like, okay, well, you the one that said that this girl is crazy. You the one that said that you don't want nothing to do with this girl. You the one that said that this girl is crazy. So my question to you is, why are you dealing with somebody that's crazy? So me and him start going back and forth. We end up getting on the phone. He's basically saying that I'm being creepy, that I'm giving stalkerish vibes going through his page and looking like, basically this boy is gaslighting me, y'all. He's gaslighting me, saying that I'm creepy and I'm weird for going on his page and looking for her. He said that he did not follow her first. She followed him and he followed her back, and he doesn't see anything wrong with following her because they used to talk. And I said, but is this not the girl that you said that was blowing up your phone and she's crazy and all this shit? He's like, yes, she is crazy, but nothing's wrong with me following her. I can follow her if I want to. I'm single at the end of the day. He starts hitting me with the I'm single card. Like, I said, I don't care about you being single. You said this girl's crazy, so what are you doing following a crazy chick? You're lying. You're obviously talking to her again. And I don't care. I know for a given fact it's gonna be people in the comments saying at the end of the day he's single. If you guys want to choose to be dense, then that's y'all. But as far as I'm concerned, it don't really got much to do with him being single, and it has everything to do with he contradicts himself on a daily basis, and he's always lying about something. You sitting up there saying that somebody crazy, but you backdoor and you following them. Like, if you gonna stand for something, or don't stand for nothing at all. I don't like people who contradict themselves. You know, I don't like people who lie 24/7. Like, that was my main issue with Legion. We were just arguing about it, and he was like, do you want me to unfollow her? Do you want me to unfollow her? Like, he starts like saying it like that. And I'm like, no, you can keep her followed, because I'm not gonna force a nigga to do nothing that he don't want to do. Keep her followed. And he's like, no, I'm so serious. Do you want me to unfollow her? And I'm like, duh, the fuck, like, but at the end of the day, if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. Do it because you want to do it. But you went to go follow her for a reason. So we're not about to sit on this here phone and act like there was not a said reason as to why you guys are following each other again. He was like, okay, I'm about to unfollow her now. I'm like, go do it then. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it now. And I was like, go do it, or I'm a send. He was like, I'm about to unfollow her now. Like, you could tell, he was like scruffling because he was getting ready for work. So I hear like a whole bunch of noise in the background. So I'm like, go do it. He's like, yeah, I'm about to go do it now. He was like, I'm on my way to work, but I'm about to go do it now. And I said, go follow her, or I'm gonna DM her and ask her about you. I guess that set him off, y'all. He got so mad. He was like, the fuck? What are you asking her about me for? He said, you know what? Go do it. Go do it. I don't got nothing to hide. He said, everything, I already showed you our text thread. I do not care. Go do it. As if he can't delete messages in the text thread. And he didn't even really show much of the text thread. You know what? You want to sit around? You want to threaten me? Go do it. Go text her. You want to message her and ask about me? Go text her. I don't got nothing to hide. I don't care. Go text her. Go text her. So at this point, y'all, I just got off the phone with him. Like, me and him, we just got off the phone, and then he ended up calling me back on his way to work, because he was like in his house getting ready for work when the situation happened. And he ended up calling me back, and he was like, I'll unfollow her, Irene. I'll unfollow her if that's what you want me to do. Did this boy unfollow this girl? No, he never unfollowed her. Like, they were still following each other. He never went and unfollowed her. And at that moment, that's when I started taking a couple of steps back from him, y'all. That's when I started limiting the times where I will link with him. I used to, in the beginning when I was dating him, I will link with him at least 3 times a week. But when he started doing that, I just started linking with him probably once every other week or once a week. Like, I wasn't linking with him as much anymore. I stopped like going on dates with him like that. He still was texting every day. I'm not gonna sit here and act like we didn't text every day, because Legion never missed a day of texting. He never. And we still was talking on the phone, but I kind of withdrew back from him because I just started to see him for who he really was, and I wasn't liking what I was seeing. And I just began to really see that this boy lies a lot. Like, that's when I think that was my main thing. Not so much the girl, so much the fact that the boy was always lying about something. I was always catching him in a lie. Like, even outside of this situation, the boy just lied a lot. Like, he lied about so many different things, just stupid stuff. Like, he would lie about what time he went to sleep. Sometimes he would lie about food that he ate. Like, he just was lying about little things, and I was like, why are you always lying about little things? Like, it just started to become so weird to me, so I started to take a little bit of a step back. But yeah, that's where we're gonna leave the story time off. Yeah, y'all, now go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, because the next story time, I'm gonna bring my friend Chelsea. And if you do not know my friend Chelsea, then you guys are gonna know her in my next story time, because my next story time is where shit just went so left. Like, when I say so left, and I definitely want you guys to be on the lookout for that. So I love you guys so much. Please give the video a thumbs up before you leave, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.